This info series is all about the policies expected in President Trump's upcoming term and what they mean for retirees. Think of it like a roadmap. Each policy change may present opportunities, so we'll be covering how to safeguard your nest egg with strategies for tax relief, portfolio protection, and sound income planning. Whether you're already retired or it's just on the horizon, these strategies could help you stay in control. I'm consumer advocate Thomas Lipscomb, and here in studio with me is Matt Scuderi, investment advisor with Capital Financial, as well as best-selling author, America's Wealth, Financial, and Income Coach, founder of Capital Financial, Coach Pete D'Arruda. Welcome in, guys.
How you doing, Thomas?
I'm doing very well. I'm excited about this info series.
I'm excited the elections are over.
I am. Yes.
How about you?
Get back to the other commercials.
Man, I tell you, I would have loved to have been a media company, a TV company, a radio company, getting all these political ads coming.
Oh yes.
No shortage of those.
No, their kids will have good Christmases this year.
Yeah. But a lot of people are worried or afraid or just wondering what's going to happen now.
Yeah, they are. And there's a lot going on. So I'm going to go ahead and dive right in. I'm going to look down at my paper occasionally, folks, just as I read off notes, because this is all fresh
brand new,
hot
off the press, so to speak.
Presses, yes. Elimination of taxes on Social Security benefits. So President Trump has proposed removing federal taxes on Social Security benefits, which is aiming to increase retirees' disposable income. I guess the first question is, how can retirees make the most of this additional Social Security income that they'll be getting?
Yeah, well, I mean, it is proposed.
It is.
And I really don't think anyone should be paying any tax on any Social Security. It's my personal opinion for a long time.
Yeah.
Social Security is a tax. They take it out of your paycheck. You don't have a choice. Therefore, it's a tax.
Yes.
And then you're supposed to get it back when you retire. But then the government has a lot of loopholes and dirty tricks.
That's
when
right.
it comes time to take the money out. Then they tax you a certain percentage of it. If you're working and you're getting Social Security, you get slammed. It's my opinion, none of the Social Security should be taxable. So we'll see what happens there. But again, a step in the right direction here is to maybe get rid of the working requirement. So if you're working and you're getting Social Security, you shouldn't have to pay those additional taxes on the Social Security.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I heard commentary from Steve Forbes earlier today, actually, where he said, those people who are working and receiving Social Security could be hit as much as 60 to 70% in taxes.
Yeah.
So that additional income is not something to just throw to the side. That's a great thing.
Well, the threshold, too. I mean, you don't have to make too much for them to start taxing. If they factored inflation in, which they never have, it would be $85,000 instead of $25,000 or $35,000.
That's right.
So you could make up to $85,000 and not worry about being taxed. But that they never put inflation. They didn't put inflation thresholds in there, so they left it where it was. And we know, Matt, inflation's been around.
Oh yeah.
And if you haven't been paying attention the last 3 years, we have a lot of inflation.
It's been very high.
Yeah. So again, could good things come down the road? I think so. And I really don't think you should be penalizing seniors. I don't think maybe they should owe any income tax whatsoever unless they make millions of dollars when they reach retirement. But we'll see what happens. It'll be the tug of war. There'll be all the stories from both sides, the heartfelt, heart-tugging stories and all that. But I think in the long run, it'll be a good thing for everybody.
That's good. That's good. Now let me ask you this. Social Security is what you would define as safe money. It's a part of the green bucket, not the red bucket, because it's associated with safety and not risk, such as the stock market. So if we're going to get additional Social Security benefits, potentially, you would want to put those in a safe bucket again and not necessarily expose them to risk. Is that a good
Well, in my opinion, if we all would have been given that money they took out of our check and put into the Social Security Administration to supposedly give us a retirement income, if we could have saved it on our own, I think we all could have done a lot better.
I'm sure we could have.
So, leave the money alone. Hopefully we can. Now, yes, if you get extra money, don't blow it. And again, we're in that retirement age. We're getting Social Security. We're definitely in what we call the financial red zone, which is 5 years out of retirement and all the way through retirement. Can we agree if we're getting Social Security, we're probably in the financial red zone? I always advise most of that money being a safe place, but safe with income. So you have it safe, it grows, it locks the gains in, it ties its return to an index in the market, but it's not in the market. Therefore, it gets a share in the gain of the market, but it doesn't get any of the losses.
Okay.
That's the magic, Thomas. And once people discover what's in that top hat, that remember the Frosty, the snowman, the top hat to put on Frosty, the magician's top hat? Once we can look in there and see there's some good things for us, then good things can happen.
That's good. Yeah. I love that. This is a great conversation we're having. I'm going to move on to point number 2. This is the extension of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Jobs Act. So they plan to extend what he initially introduced. I believe it was in 2019.
Yeah. This is great news, by the way.
It is. It's intended to lower individual income tax rates,
yes.
Which could benefit a lot of people. And I wanted to ask, this doesn't necessarily have to do with the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, but how can people take advantage of a lower tax environment?
Well, not only will it maybe lower, but it'll keep them low like they are.
Exactly.
Because we were all worried about the tax cuts expiring next year, and then people being put into maybe doubling the corporate tax. There were all sorts of rumors floating around.
It was a lot.
Then there was also the rumor on taxing you on unrealized capital gains.
Oh my goodness.
Luckily, that's not going to happen. That would have been a disaster for a lot of things, the stock market being one of them.
Yeah, it would
You're taxed on your real estate, you're taxed on the gains of the house, even though you're not going to sell it. Therefore, a lot of people would have had to sell their house just to pay the taxes.
Yeah,
it was a ridiculous plan. Anyway, we're in a better place now, and I think that we may even see a reduction of the corporate taxes and also the income taxes, the individual income taxes.
Okay.
Which are good things. So look, folks, the more money you can keep in your pocket and decide how to spend, the less money the government takes and decides how to spend their way. And I guarantee you can spend your money a lot better than the government can.
I am right there with you. So let me ask, if we're in a lower tax rate environment and someone's heading into the financial red zone, does this lead them to want to look more at things like a Roth IRA or an annuity or different products that may be more advantageous?
Matt, your idea on the Roth, I think the Roth is a good, you're a young guy. You guys are both young guys compared to Coach Pete over here. I'm almost 60, and you guys are like right around 30s and 40s, right?
Yeah.
So, Matt, your opinion on the Roth IRA, and then also your opinion on the different ages for the Roth IRA.
Yeah, I think Roth IRAs are definitely a powerful tool that need to be utilized more than they currently are.
Yes. You'd be amazed how many people don't have one. Right?
I know.
Don't even know what it is.
No.
Yeah, it's
and
true.
I think you need to, that should be the number one thing you do is try and max out your Roth IRA every single year. And then a lot of companies now are offering Roth 401k options. So utilize that as well.
I know you spend a lot of time with folks helping them learn the difference between the regular IRA, a regular 401k, a Roth 401k, and a regular Roth. And so there are a lot of advantages. And folks, you may not qualify, though, unfortunately, for Roth. You might make too much money. There are hidden alternatives to the Roth that even make more sense and give you nursing home coverage.
Yeah.
Find out about that. And also a death benefit that's tax-free. So there are Roth alternatives out there for tax-free retirement income. But if you don't have any tax-free retirement income, time to start building that is now. Matt, when we get to retirement, we want to have the fun that we're looking forward to in retirement. We don't want Uncle Sam to have fun robbing us every year. So the more money we have coming in that's tax-free or tax deductible or tax advantaged, the better, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very good. Follow-up question to that. If we're seeing a lot of good growth opportunities, how can retirees or pre-retirees balance those growth opportunities with safe, tax-efficient withdrawal strategies?
Yeah, so growth opportunities meaning they've done well?
Meaning, with the tax rates being lower, with potentially this stimulating the economy more and hopefully seeing the stock, we can't predict anything, hopefully seeing the stock market continue to be strong. How can they take advantage of this and balance it heading into retirement?
In my 32 years I've been around the money world, I've learned one thing. Not everything goes up every year. Not everything goes down every year.
That's right.
Not everything goes up anytime. So you may have bought some stocks, mutual funds, that didn't ever perform. And you may have bought some others that performed well. So we call this the balancing act. We can get rid of some of our gains by getting rid of some of our losses.
Ooh, okay.
So they counterbalance, and then you have a zero tax rate. Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, tax loss harvesting strategies can be
a lot of people overlook this. And here's why. Because we never want to admit we made a mistake buying a bad stock. Therefore, we're going to hold it forever. Even when it delists and it doesn't even exist anymore, we'll hold it all the way down. But then you get a good write-off. When you finally do liquidate, you get a good write-off, but good. And a good balancing of gains versus losses. Tax loss harvesting. Matt, good term on that. It's harvesting the good with the bad, and then breaking out to zero. That means you don't have to pay much, or as close to possible. Sometimes we can't get down there, but if you can lower your effective net tax rate from, let's say, 28% down to 7%, it's a lot more money for you and your family.
It is. It is.
And it helps you get over some of the pain you have for losing all that money you invested in that.
It's true. Well, and it gets rid of. We talk about on the radio show sometimes how a lot of times folks may feel like they're going for the Hail Mary and trying to do this 50-yard pass or whatever it may be, but more often than not, not, you need to get those good first downs. And this is one of those really good first downs.
Always moving forward. That's the secret of money world.
That's very good. So looking at number 3 here, proposed tariffs and inflation concerns. Now, inflation is not a new word anymore. When we first started working together, it was something most people didn't talk about.
Nobody talked about it.
No.
Nobody wanted to talk about it.
No.
They would turn the channel when we talked about it on radio. I was just giving a very shallow warning, like we're talking about 10 years ago.
Yes.
And before that. But on the radio, I know when you started with me 10 years ago, we would always talk about how your accounts need to be inflation protected. Matt, what does that mean to you, inflation protection?
It means consistently getting, and doesn't need to be instrumental or returned, but consistently getting some return to keep your purchasing power up and
to keep up with whatever the inflation is, right? And so makes sense.
It does.
Makes sense. And so we build strategies like that every day. And one of the main things is you don't want to lose money. If you're losing money in your investments and inflation's going up like crazy, now you're way behind. So if you can at least keep up with inflation or be right behind it, now you're not too far behind.
Okay.
If you're going this way and inflation's going that way, you're in a lot of trouble. So let's say you had money in like a CD in the bank earning 1% and inflation's up at 9%. You're getting your butt kicked.
Yeah, you are.
Or if you have money in a stock and it's going down and inflation's going up, now you're in a lot of trouble. So again, it's all about getting a planner who understands what you're looking for and making sure you get the plan that makes sense for you and your family.
It's true, and I love this is what you guys do every day here at Capital Financial is putting together those 22-step process plans.
Total retirement plan.
And I want to ask about this, because I think there are a lot of people out there who may see inflation and get scared and say, I need to get that big return. You guys have solutions, low-risk solutions that still can keep pace with inflation and those rising costs.
If you watch a baseball game and a team's down by, let's say, 7 or 8 runs, and it's the bottom of the 9th, in other words, their last at bat, and they're not going to come back with one swing of the bat, right? If they get a home run, they're still down 6 runs. But every player that goes up looks like they're swinging for the fences. In other words, they're taking huge swings and striking out. Whereas if they would have just been patient, maybe they could have loaded the bases and then someone could have hit a home run. That's 4 runs.
There you go.
All right, so here's what happens. A lot of people trying to play catch up take unnecessary risks. They're swinging for the fences. And what happens a lot of times? Strike out. Babe Ruth led the league in strikeouts. He also led the league in home runs. Most of us aren't Babe Ruth when it comes to the money world. We're either going to strike out or hit home runs. We can't do both. Okay, so again, getting the simple strategy that helps you, like the tortoise and the hare, you're always moving forward. Maybe not big steps, but you're not moving backwards ever. Puts you in charge. Now, tariffs is part 2 of this, right?
Tariffs is part 2 of this, So there's an introduction of a 10% tariff on all imports, or at least that's being proposed right now. This is something I'm excited about. We were talking about it a little on the radio earlier, how I grew up in small town America where Main Street was thriving, and you know, there might have been the post office and the shops and even places you could buy clothing on Main Street, not just a restaurant. Believe that, right? I love to see this mentality. But I guess for retirees, for people who may this affect, what are your thoughts? What do you want to say to them right now?
Well, tariffs has turned into a hot potato because of the political world. They're using it against certain people in the political ads. But number one, we've had tariffs all these years. We have tariffs there. We have tariffs on different countries at all times.
We have,
And a lot of the Trump tariffs that were put in when in 2016 to 20 were kept with the Biden administration from 2024. Trump has proposed more on the automakers from other countries, so they can't make really cheap cars and dump them in our country and put our U.S. auto workers out of business.
Exactly.
So tariffs are a way to buy American.
There you go.
Tariffs are a way to keep the factories in America. And we really do need, we saw during COVID when all the drugs had to be, when all the medications were from overseas. And remember that we had the shortage of the cars because the chips were made overseas.
Vulnerabilities.
So we need to bring some of these factories back here and punish folks who for going overseas. Now, yes, it may cost a little more, but does it cost more when you're helping out fellow Americans?
Exactly.
And so it really isn't a bad thing. Plus the quality of American made. Remember how proud we were to buy American made?
I agree.
When Walmart first started, I thought they had the little American made stickers on most of the stuff there. And then all of a sudden they forgot about that. So again, tariffs not a bad thing, and let's look at it. If done right, we could put enough tariffs on different things where we wouldn't have to pay income tax anymore.
That would be a dream.
Okay. Now we can't let the government get all these taxes and not give us something back. They like to give. They like to take and not give. They give us headaches. They don't give us anything of value. So tariffs not a bad thing. Don't believe the political hype, folks. It's not going to cost you a lot more money, and plus it might even help you not have to buy new things all the time because the items you're buying might be more quality. So in the long run, you might make money.
There you go. I like that. All right, let's move on to the next point. Impact impact on Medicare and healthcare costs. The incoming administration has expressed intentions to protect Medicare. And it's essential, though, to monitor how these changes may affect senior healthcare. I'm excited that they're wanting to protect Medicare. That's something very important. But how can retirees safeguard their health coverage and manage healthcare costs under changing policies? Is there anything that they really need to watch out for? Or is it we're kind of on a steady stream right now?
Well, quite frankly, Medicare is basically health insurance after you're 65.
Yep.
And so the government will give you certain benefits, but then you can buy supplements so you don't have to pay out-of-pocket things.
Right.
All right. And then they have the Medicare Advantage plan, which basically is an HMO. It puts you basically at the mercy of somebody else, but they all take care of you. They give you everything. And some people get money back for signing up for that.
Oh, wow.
And we have a full Medicare staff here and also helps folks claim their Social Security, too, which a lot of people make mistakes claiming Social Security. So it's important to get the right Medicare plan for you, the Medicare supplemental coverage or Medicare Advantage plan that makes sense for you and your family. Matt, we've seen this, too. The prescription drug plan, the Part D, is where a lot of folks make mistakes. But don't forget to file when your due date, when the time is, when you reach 65, there's a little halo around there. Make sure you file like you're supposed to.
Yeah,
that's
and
good.
So you don't want to be paying more money than you have to because you delayed or didn't do it. So make sure your advisor is qualified enough to educate you on the very important dates of when to file and how to get the best deal. And a lot of folks do change from year to year because different plans come out.
They do.
So don't feel too loyal or beholden to the company you're with if there's a better one out there.
That's good. All of this is part of the 22-step process behind a total retirement plan with Capital Financial. I want to dive into the long-term care conversation right now, long-term care insurance. Is there anything going on with this transition that should affect long-term care costs, rates? Should people, because I know this is a core part of your planning process as well. Do you feel still strong in long-term care options moving forward?
Well, if you know me, you know I've been licensed to offer long-term care for about 30 years, and I've never offered a long-term care policy.
Yeah.
Because I read the fine print.
Yeah.
And I wrote a book called The Fine Print Fiasco back in 2005, What They Don't Want You to Know When You Buy, Borrow, and Invest. A lot of dirty tricks. So when I read the contracts, and I usually read back to front, because they usually put the bad stuff after you get real tired. And here's what happens with the traditional long-term care policies. Right when you need it the most, they decide to raise your rates way up so you can't afford it anymore, or give you less benefits, or just get rid of whole groups of people, just terminate you.
Yeah,
so the only way to get long-term care that you can depend on is to buy the new life insurance policies that let you use the death benefit that you have. Like, let's say you get $1 million policy.
Yeah.
Doesn't cost that much either. And when you need long-term care, if you have the right policy, it enables you to take some of that death benefit out each year, tax-free, to pay for your long-term care expenses.
I love that.
Makes a lot of sense.
You
Plus, it can never be kicked out. There'll never be a rate increase, and then you know what you're going to get. And if you don't use it, it turns into a nice tax-free death benefit to your kids and grandkids.
That sounds,
or your spouse.
That sounds like eating your cake and keeping it too.
It just
I guess.
makes sense. So if you need long-term care, we're all going to probably. One of us here, probably two of us will need long-term care, right? But we'll know people that need long-term care. We all know someone who's had to go to the nursing home, and they're not cheap. They're not cheap. There's like $100,000 a year, and if you want a private room, even more than that. I kind of want a private room.
Yeah, I agree.
I had a roommate in my dorms, back in the college. I don't want to go back to that. They say you always return to where you came from. I don't want to return back. So again, there are ways, folks. So if you have a life insurance policy now, which most of you either have or should have, review that. We can do it for you, too, to make sure you have the long-term care coverage. It's only about 5 years ago they started adding this in, and it was with the best companies, the A-rated or better companies have this in there. So if you don't have it, we've seen folks who come in, we've noticed they didn't have it. We were able to get them a brand new policy for a more affordable cost than they were paying on the old one, with a better benefit with that long-term care.
Wow.
So again, reviewing your life insurance every 5 years, folks, for the beneficiary designations, because maybe things change in your life, but also if you have the advantages that other people have. Now, here's a caveat. Do never cancel your current life insurance policy until you got a new one, if you're looking at it. Because if you cancel it and you die and you don't have a new one, you're in trouble.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And make sure that you know what's in your policy, and make sure that you tell the truth on your life insurance policy. And here's another thing. You're never going to be healthier today than you're going to be tomorrow. So the best time to apply for that is today. Because something can change overnight. How many times you get woken up by a phone call, or hear somebody get woken up by a phone call, somebody in the family had a health incident.
Yeah.
And then once that happens, you might not be able to get coverage anymore. Right. And then that's when you need it the most. So get it as soon as possible. Get this review as soon as possible. It does. Matt, does it put you in control when you do this?
Oh, absolutely.
What's important about retirement? Being in control.
It's true. It's a full 365 view plan. I mean, you're looking at healthcare, you're looking at retirement income, you're looking at growth. It's a fully comprehensive strategy.
This will not be affected by the elections.
I love it.
This is a good thing. It's always going to be a good thing, and it's here for you.
Well, and I think that's something to restate as well. You've been in the financial arena for well over 3 decades.
Seen a lot of presidents come and go.
Yes, you have. And this is another cycle, and your plans are meant to last through this, take advantage of what's going on right now, protect from anything that may happen, just like it will 4 years, 8 years, 12 years, 16, and so on.
It's what's important for you watching, not for us. So give us a call. We'll see if we can help you get in that right direction, get the right plan for your time of life.
That's very good.
Very important.
All right, the next thing that I wanted to hit was Social Security solvency and retirement age. And I want to begin this conversation because I know a lot of folks try to harp on, is Social Security going to last? We're going to have politicians, so Social Security will last.
Well, my opinion, they're not going to take it away.
No, they're never going to take it away.
They may phase it away for us.
Yes.
You guys. You guys should be more worried than Coach Pete over here.
Yeah.
And they'll do something called means testing, which I think is mean.
Yeah.
They look at how much money you have and you say, well, you don't need it. Well, I paid for it.
Right.
Give me my money. Right. There's that commercial. It's my money. I want it now.
Yeah.
At least give me what I put in and let me go do what I want to do.
I agree 100%, Coach. I do.
Yeah.
So some people have talked about raising the retirement age, and Donald Trump has opposed such changes. Obviously, it's an ongoing debate.
Yeah.
But let's just get down to it, because this is really even outside of politics and the current administration.
Right.
How can safe money strategies like annuities or dividend-focused funds help stabilize this retirement income?
Yeah. Well, annuity strategies give you a lifetime income you never have to worry about outliving now.
Yeah.
And so it does put you in control of being able to do what you want to do in retirement. We always advise people to find out what their number is. What are you going to need to spend in retirement? What do you like to do first in retirement? And then we'll factor inflation in and we'll say, well, you need this kind of money coming in every single year at a guaranteed basis that should never go away. Well, then we devote a lump sum into an annuity that will give us that flow of income that never goes away based on what you need, plus a little extra. So we've got inflation. So then we build another stream of income that'll kick in. It continues to build till you need it, but it'll kick in when you need it to counteract the inflation. Okay. So again, they call me Coach 2 streams. I like at least 2 streams of income in addition to Social Security.
That's great.
One stream to get you doing whatever you want to do, and the next stream to help you keep doing it, even if inflation or taxation goes out of control. And it's going to. So we build a big buffer zone in there so you never have a problem in retirement. And again, you don't have to worry about the money disappearing because it gets to share in the gain of the market, but it never loses when the market goes down. It locks the gain in. So you may get a 0 one year, but if you get a 0 in this account, other people that were in the market got negative 10, 20, 30, 40, whatever the market went, 50% down, you're still up here.
Yeah.
So when the market recovers, you're recovering from a higher market point. And then you have an income that grows depending on what your balance is. So you get more and more income.
Yeah,
Makes a whole lot of sense. It's income planning. Matt, you do a lot of work with income planning. How important is it when you sit down with folks to explain the income plan to them? Oh,
it's very important. And I think you mentioned a key word there earlier, buffer.
Yep.
We never want to solely rely on Social Security.
Yep. But there are a couple people that do, and there are certain people sitting on a 401k with a big balance, and they're relying on their Social Security. They don't want to touch the 401k because it has sentimental value. Some of that 401k should be put into the lifetime income strategy, GPI plan. We call it Growth Protection Lifetime Income, otherwise known as an annuity or financial fill-up strategy, which gives you a lifetime income you can never outlive. It really does put you in control of your retirement.
Well, let me ask, does it put you in control of your retirement age? Because there may be a lot of people out there who see full retirement age as 67 or 60, whatever the month would be.
I've had people that retire early because they have the annuity strategy.
There you go. I love that.
And so now you decide your retirement age, not the government. And if you want to work forever, you work forever. But if not, you don't need the money. Like the money's there. So you're working because you want to, because it's a hobby, not because you have to.
And that's huge. There's so much power
and freedom. Change of atmosphere and attitude when you do that.
Yeah, I can imagine. All right, so last one on my list is market volatility and retirement portfolios. And this is nothing specific to this administration, but policy shifts can lead to temporary market fluctuations, which can impact retirement portfolios. So what low volatility options can help retirees keep a consistent income during these periods of market fluctuation?
Well, like I said, markets come, markets go.
They do.
Politicians come and go. But what you need to do is not make snap decisions regardless of what happens.
That's good.
And if you have the strategies we recommend, you never have to make snap decisions because you know some of your money is not going to be dependent on the market anyway. Right. It's going to share in the gain, but never go down when the market goes down. Matter of fact, we have more people want to put more more money in this strategy once they figure out how it works and they see the statement and say, gosh, Coach wasn't lying. 32 years, I've never lied, by the way. I've never been in trouble with anybody for lying or doing anything misrepresented-wise in the financial world. We are fiduciaries here for a reason.
Yes.
We always put your needs first. But Matt, give your opinion. I mean, it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And I think market volatility, the one word that comes to my mind, or 3 words, is sequence of returns.
Yes.
So
yes.
that is a silent killer that most people don't know about. Essentially just pulling money from a down account. You're just going to drain that account.
So by having that, you have a powerful way to stop that.
So you have money in the stock. Let's say you don't use the strategy we recommend, and you have all the money in the stock market, and the stock market tanks. Well, you need income because you're retired. So you have to take money out of the stock market when it's way down there, and therefore, when and if it does recover, the money you took out is not going to recover because you've already spent it. So you basically are in that cycle, in a bad cycle there. That's why it's important to have a combination of your money. Some money's still in the market. Matter of fact, we recommend our clients take maximum risk with the money that we don't put into the financial fill-up strategy because you've already got your retirement taken care of over here. Why not take a lot of risk with the money you don't really need anymore? Maybe you can get a lot of money there. Maybe you can buy that yacht you want.
Hey,
but the worst case thing is that you lose all the money on the stock market side, you still have your retirement. Everything's fine. Now, I don't like to lose the money myself, and I have a lot more money in my annuity strategies than people my age do, but I like the ability to be able to close my eyes at night and go to sleep without worrying.
Well, and that's what you call risk tolerance, isn't it? Everybody's going to have a different number, a different feel for this.
Yeah, so it's just important to meet with our team, get that total retirement plan. Let's see what makes you tick, and let's put a plan together that can withstand any kind of market environment, any kind of presidency, any kind of worldwide event, because you know that not all your money is going to be tied to that sinker when the market goes down. That's very important.
It is.
If you're fishing, sinkers are good. When we're looking for returns, we don't like sinkers.
There you go.
And we want to make sure we have a lifetime income we never worry about. So again, we offer a plan for folks. A lot of people have taken advantage of that over the last 20 years we've been on the radio. So if you're watching this, maybe you heard about it on the radio, come on in, meet the team, and let's get a plan put together that makes sense for you. And let's look at what your concerns are. Let's get that checklist out. Let's check off all the concerns. Let's address them and check them off. And then let's put a plan together that makes sure you don't have concerns anymore.
Yeah, it really does make a lot of sense. Once again, we're here with Coach Pete D'Arruda and Matt Scuderi of Capital Financial. Connect with them, sit down for a one-on-one private conversation, a personalized consultation to make sure that you are on the right track as you head into retirement. This has been the Retiring After the Election Info Series. We hope you've enjoyed it, and stay tuned for another one coming soon.
Everything will be fine, folks.